Today we're talking about proteins, also known as polypeptides. So proteins are polymers made up from the monomer amino acids. So when these amino acids cluster together and to form these chains, that's what's called the protein. The protein is going to be your most diverse macromolecule inside your body. Now there's going to be different types of proteins, and we're going to talk about enzymes first. So this is my poor drawing of an enzyme right here. Ignore my drawing skills, I'm not an artist. But enzymes' main purpose is that they're going to be able to catalyze chemical reactions. Catalyze, as you can see, I bolded it in red, meaning that they're going to be able to speed up the process of a chemical reaction. There's also going to be receptors, and receptors control signaling inside your body. And amongst many other types of proteins as well, such as hemoglobin, which transports oxygen throughout your bloodstream, and your muscle and organ tissues, which gives you structure and mobility in your body as well. How do amino acids polymerize is the question we have here. So peptide bonds are going to form between the two amino acid monomers and to create that polymer. So that's actually going to create a dehydration reaction, meaning that it's going to take out this water molecule we have down here. And how it does that is this oxygen and hydrogen from one molecule and the hydrogen from another molecule are going to come out in order to bond the carbon and the nitrogen together, creating that peptide bond we have down there. Now, as more amino acids get added on, the peptide chain gets longer and longer, creating that protein molecule. We have a few different types of protein structure. We have primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary as well. So primary protein structure really is the simplest form of protein structure you can do, where you can either just list all of the amino acids out in 3-letter abbreviations, or you can do 1-letter abbreviation. It's really just how much you want to write out. The primary protein structure is what gives protein shape overall. It's these amino acids that cause different things that create the shape of the protein. Alright, the secondary protein structure is more of a localized conformation of the polypeptide backbone. And what that means is that the folding of the amino acid residue is really what depends on the shape that it's going to take. It's going to want the lowest level conformation in order to have the highest energy from the dipole-dipole interactions. That's what they're folding into there. Now, the most common types of secondary structures you're going to see are the beta pleated sheet and the alpha helix. Alpha helix is something you've probably seen a lot, and it's that spiral shape that it has. The tertiary protein structure is the complete folding pattern in the overall 3D structure that we see. So some things that we're going to notice in the tertiary structure that weren't listed in the secondary are going to be the disulfide bonds. This helps maintain the structure through covalent bonds between sulfide molecules, of course. So there's two different types of main shapes. You have the globular protein shape and the fibrous protein shape. The globular protein is really just highly folded and compact, while the fibrous protein shape is more of a long and spindle-like shape. The quaternary structure is going to have multiple different separate polypeptide subunits, and an example of a quaternary structure would be hemoglobin. So hemoglobin has 4 separate polypeptide subunits. So overall, this is going to be the interaction of those subunits together. It has non-covalent bound units, and the arrangement of these subunits is what is going to determine the shape of that quaternary structure. A small change in the primary protein structure can create a bigger change in the overall protein structure that can lead to some issues. So a good example of this is sickle cell anemia, where one amino acid is transferred into a different amino acid from the normal to the carrier. So in this particular situation, this changes the folding pattern of the protein, which causes a normal red blood cell, which looks like this, in order to have a shape like the sickle cell red blood cell, which is this one right here. This shape, sickle cell blood cell that we have here, is what clogs the blood vessels and can cause a lot of health issues overall.